Hello guys, today I'll be going over a pretty easy to understand cookie, so we're not going to go that in depth on it. It's probably going to be my shortest guide to this date, but we're just going to make sure that you guys know how to play Rockstar. So, Rockstar is a support cookie and he's a buffer and healer. His passive makes you gain stacks on music notes, and this happens whenever you do a basic attack or a dash, and whenever you have all your stacks on your music note, all you need to know is whenever you use your skill, you get a healing field around your cookie that does stay on field whenever you swap off, and whenever you use it with your alt, it does do damage. I would recommend using this to make sure that your teammates are healed in raids, just so that you guys don't black out and die. So now your special is some damage and it can heal once you have max stacks. But where it really gets good is his ultimate, which gives 50% attack increase, which is very good, very busted stat. Attack increase is very good. And then how do you make more of this? Well, for his weapon, you will want his unique weapon because it does give buff amp. So his unique weapon is very good. Then you're gonna want the party hat, and I will talk about one alternative, but you're going to want the party hat. Now, you cannot roll buff amp on this, so don't worry about rolling buff amp. Then for the shirt and the pants, what you're going to want to do is you're going to want the trumpet pants, and you're going to want to roll buff amp into this. And then you're going to want a super epic shirt, any super epic shirt, right? And you're going to want to roll double buff amp into it. Just any double buff amp, and you're good. If you do not have a super epic shirt that you can throw out and roll a double buff amp on, you can always go roll it on the attack shirt because he does heal based off of his attack and then just roll buff amp. Now, the alternatives is if your teammates do not have Ghost set, you can always run Ghost set on your Rockstar with double buff amp pants, double buff amp shirt, but it is just generally better to run just general party hat, general trumpets pants with a buff amp roll on the trumpets pants, and then double buff amp on a super epic piece. If we just go take a little bit of a detour and we just go and look at the leaderboard runs, if you can look with me real quick, right? If we go take a look at the leaderboard runs, this is exactly what their RSs are going to be running. And so you always use these as a reference, but if you go look, Rockstar artifact or weapon, right? Buff amp, and then they're running buff amp with nothing here because you can't get buff amp, then double buff amp, and then they're running buff amp, buff amp. Now, don't worry about all these stars. This is just sweaty people being sweaty, but that is generally how you build Rockstar. Now, I would say for artifacts, right, you have three main options, right, which are pretty simple, right? So if we go to the index here real quick and you go look with me, right, his artifact is the best artifact. Now, this does give the buff to everyone on your team if you're playing in Labyrinth, but it only gives the buff to you if you are playing in Raids. So if you're playing in Raids, you're going to want the buff amp increase. But if you are playing in Labyrinth, then the attack increase is your best one because it gives it to everyone on your team. Then for other artifacts that you can run, I would recommend Afternoon Tea, and I would also recommend running this if you don't have either of them. It's just healing for your team. It's better than nothing. What I will say is I'm sorry that I did not edit this guide because it's pretty simple. There's nothing really to it. You just play Rockstar, you heal everyone by getting 6 stacks and then pressing skill, and then your circle provides a buff to everyone. Like, it's a generally simple guide. So, sorry that I didn't really like go out on this video. My bad, gang.